Okay, so Braden, what we're learning a new way to factor this and to solve. So we start off with x squared equals 25. We took the square root of both, and you get x equals either 5 or negative 5, because negative 5 squared is 25 and 5 squared is 25. Okay, now we're working on this problem. It was x minus 4 squared equals 25. So we're going to take the square root of both sides. So x minus 4, does everybody see why it's going to be x minus 4? Okay, equals plus or minus 5. And you have to do that right there. Plus or minus 5. Now, so you know that x minus 4 equals 5 or x minus 4 equals negative 5. You're going to add 4. So x equals 9. Or you're going to add 4, x equals negative 1. So let's go put those two numbers in the original problem. So get your calculator. Do the parentheses. It's going to sound silly, but in a minute it'll be harder and it'll make more sense. So 9 in parentheses, 9 minus 4 squared gives you 25. Now, parentheses, negative 1 minus 4, close parentheses, squared, gives you 25. So there's two solutions. It's going to be negative 1, 9. Two solutions. Okay? So let's do x plus 6 squared equals 49. Okay. Guys, you just need to get used to seeing, oh, that's a square, so that's a perfect square. Oh, 49 is a perfect square. So we're going to take the square root of both sides. So x plus 6 equals plus or minus 7. So x plus 6 equals 7, or x plus 6 equals negative 7. Subtract 6, x equals 1. Or x equals negative 13. So you have two solutions. 1, negative 13. Or negative 13, 1. It doesn't matter how you write it in there. It gets a little harder, but we're going to wait and do this tomorrow. It's when it's not a perfect square. Okay, so knowing when to do this. Okay, let's do another kind. 4x squared equals 36. Okay. Guys, what would happen if you forgot about that, what we just learned? What's going to happen? And you do it the other way and you make it equal 0. Do you think you're going to still get the right answer? Yeah. I'm just giving you options, just like when we solve systems of equations, there's like 4 or 5 different ways to do it. Well, there's several ways to solve this. Okay, so 4 is a perfect square, x squared is a perfect square, so you could just take the square root of both of those. Okay, so let's do it. And then we'll do it the other way too, just to show you it works. So the square root of 4x squared is 2x equals plus or minus a 6. That's the main thing you got to remember. So 2x equals 6 or 2x equals negative 6. Divide by 2. X is 3 or x equals negative 3. So let's go put that in the calculator and I'll show you. So 4 times 3 squared. 36. Now if you do 4 parenthesis negative 3 in parentheses squared equals 36. Okay? Now, come over here and write it again. Well, let's go back and do it the way we learned, setting it up equal to 0. If you subtract, you're going to get 4x squared minus 36 equals 0. What can I cancel out? Factor out. 4. Okay? You know 4 doesn't equal 0. So, but look, is that a difference of 2 squares? So x plus 3, x minus 3. So you know 4 doesn't equal 0, but x plus 3 equals 0, or x minus 3 equals 0. Or remember, I just let you do one of them and you know it's the opposite sign. So x is negative 3 or x is 3. Just what we got. 3 or negative 3. So if you forget about this little trick here, it's okay. If you want to set it up equal to 0 and keep doing it how you've been doing it, it's fine. Not that much longer, really, to do. You just need to know. I just got to give you options in case they might just have you pick the problem that, like showing you that you can get the square root or something. I don't know. I've got to give you all the. Can't teach you. Okay, so now on your piece of paper. Now on your piece of paper, let's turn on the front and look at 18. Let's see how we can use this for 18. Which they went right to some hard ones, but it's basically the same thing. Okay. Okay, if you look at this right there, okay, 81's a perfect square. So I go, oh, 81's a perfect square. And then I look at that and I see, is that a perfect square trinomial? It is, isn't it? What's it going to be? Y minus 8 squared. Right? Negative 8y doubled is negative 16y. So that's a perfect square trinomial. Now, all we have to do is take the square root. Like we just learned. So y minus 8 equals plus or minus 9. So y minus 8 equals 9, or y minus 8 equals negative 9. Add 8, y is 17, add 8, or y equals -1. Now, let's go get the calculator and put these in there. So in the original problem up here, not where we did this. So you're going to put 17 squared minus 16 times 17 plus 64. What'd you get? 81. Okay, now we're going to go put -1 in. But you got to put it in parentheses. So put -1 in parentheses squared minus 16 times -1 plus 64. What'd you get? 81. So it worked. It worked. Okay, look at, oh, I can't believe I just did that. I got one out of the book. I'm going to change number 19 because we just did that. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to change this. 4n squared minus 81 equals 19. Okay. If I look at this and I go, oh, 19 is not a perfect square. But, oh, if I add 81 to both sides, what am I going to get? 4n squared equals 100. True? Then I've got perfect squares on both sides. So I'm going to take the square root. 2n equals plus or minus 10. So 2n equals 10 or 2n equals -10. So n's going to be 5 or -5. Okay, let's go do 21 next. Well, they just mixed and matched some of these. Okay. Guys, perfect square, perfect square. So this is where you got to go, I can get the square root. So it's going to be what? K plus 2 equals plus or minus 4. And believe it or not, y'all going to get to where y'all can subtract 2 and do it all at one time. Do both problems all at one time. But K plus 2 is 4, or K plus 2 is -4. So K is what? 2, or K is -6, huh? Yeah, be careful on those. Okay? We're going to go look at number 20. Boy, they're making us really think on this one. Look on 20. Okay. Remember, the main thing is to solve for x. We're solving for x. So, I know that negative 75 is not a perfect square. And 150 is not a perfect square. What if I added 75 to both sides? What am I going to get? And is 225 a perfect square? Yes. So sometimes, guys, you're not, like on this page, you would think, oh, they're trying to get you to do the perfect square on either side. But sometimes it's easier to, or it works out better to make it equal 0. And then that's going to be a perfect square trinomial. What's it going to be? X plus, good, plus 15 squared. So who remembers what we do now? So x plus 15 equals 0, huh? So x equals negative 15. Because you're basically just doing the square root. The square root of 0, 0. Okay? Now, 15's not going to work in there. Do y'all see why 15's not going to work? 15 squared is what? 225 plus 30 times 15 is what? 450 plus 225 is not going to give you 0. So it's got to be negative 15. Only. It's only one answer. Okie dokie. Okay, and we're not going to do 22 because that gets into the harder kind that we're going to work tomorrow. Okay, so we got to do some more. No. Let me cut this off.